Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire and TG, and together we're Awaze.
Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up.
Hello.
Hi y'all, how y'all doing?
Hindi nachu. Happy Thursday.
Yes.
I don't care. It's happening.
You
It's
have to
Hamus.
do it.
Yakakadus. It's your girls Howie and TG here on the Awaze Show. If this is your first time encountering us on a Thursday afternoon, surprise, surprise.
We actually officially changed. I think there are people who are still tuning in who might not be aware with the fact that we have officially changed from Friday evening to Thursday drive time afternoons.
We're Thursday people now, and so it's going to be a lot of throwback music, a lot of spicy topics. To be honest with you, since we started the Thursday shows, we've done a show about pretty privilege. And then last week, somehow, we ended up talking about fetishes.
Literally, he was like giving me a variety of options to talk about. I was like, ooh,
Let's
fetish.
talk about fetishes and kinks. And we were
TG was like, I don't know about this.
So we had to give like parental advisory warnings and everything. But we are back once again. Today we're going to take a little bit of a break off to just talk about ourselves.
Guess what? We're doing that because, in fact, we are celebrating our 2-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
It's officially on the 31st, which is Saturday, but we're doing it today since we're not going to see you guys before the New Year. So today is our 2-year celebration. We're so excited.
It's our anniversary, you guys. And so we're going to talk about what it's been like for the past 2 years doing the show, hosting this show, and everything else, and our experiences, our trials, our failures, our successes,
All of it.
So make sure to stay tuned. If you guys want to hit us up, you can hit us up on our Telegram. It's at Awaze Media, AWAZE MEDIA. Let's go for a track.
Yes, please.
It's gonna be hella throwback-ish.
I mean, that's what Thursdays are for, right? Throwback.
We'll be right back.
Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire
And TG,
and together we're Awaze.
catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up.
Well, welcome back. Ooh, I hear myself very well.
Feeling better?
Yes.
Because you turned it up. You shouldn't have.
No, we switched the mics, remember?
I remember.
Welcome back, y'all.
Hi.
To the Awaze Show.
Hoping you could hear us both much better now. It is another Thursday show here on the Awaze Show. I said show too many times, but that's not the point. The point was it is our anniversary.
Hey.
2 years almost.
2 years.
Our very, very first show on this station under this name was on December 31st of 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, we're like after pandemic babies.
I'm very proud of us. I was saying that to TG.
Who like creates a business like midway through the tornado that was
Yeah.
COVID-19? A lot of people's businesses were falling through. A lot of people had invested a lot in their business, and then COVID hit, and so many things were going so sideways for a lot of people. But we really had faith.
Yeah.
Is the best way I
Faith,
can
but
put it.
also I think we went into it like, how do I say this? We went into it, at least I can speak for myself, not entirely understanding.
Yes, what we were getting ourselves
Yes.
into.
We kind of were like, okay, like this sounds like a good idea. We're doing a business with friends.
Yeah.
And before we know it, me and TG are just smack in the middle of it.
Yes, and it's one of the reasons that I now tell people with like a full
Your
chest,
chest?
with my whole chest, just do it.
Yeah.
What's the worst? Like, just do it. Just go for it. And then if it doesn't work out, all that will happen is you'll be in the same place you are now.
You're saying business-wise?
Yes.
Well,
Don't
first
jump
of all,
off anything.
if you do a business, if you're doing it individually, fine. I wouldn't advise everyone or anyone to go into business with family or friends.
Not with other people. That's not at all what I'm saying. You know, early on into creating this business, one of the first things that we were told was, don't do it with your friends. Don't.
We even have a friend here who's silently sitting here who actually said that.
Multiple people told us this is not a good idea. Friends told us, well, in their actions, not in their ways, but in their actions, that they didn't think we were going to succeed or make it past a certain point.
Oh, for sure.
We had a lot of people rooting for us to not succeed, which is strange. We're very nice people. You'd think we had a supportive atmosphere.
I think we can count with our hands
how many people were like...
Who were actually supportive
Yes.
with one hand, who
Yes.
really thought that we could be successful. I know.
As funny as it is. But being here today, it's sort of like... my greatest motivation, me personally, is pettiness.
I mean, it is the best fuel, yes.
Honestly, out of spite, I feel like I will change this world. And my pure fuel for me to like get up every morning and do what I need to do. But this is a great time to sit back, reminisce, talk to everybody that has a business, is thinking of starting a business, is stuck at a 9-to-5. And doesn't really know what to do or how to get out. So today is our day of reflection, I suppose.
I mean, I think it's only fair. I think it's fair. I think when I look back at it 2 years ago, I don't think I've ever felt so stuck and depressed in my life.
Yeah,
It was a bad time.
it was.
And so that's why I'm saying we stumbled upon this, and I'm forever grateful. Sometimes your blessings really do come in disguise.
The most unexpected ways too.
Yes, 100%. Like I think if somebody were to tell you that you were going to go into business with a friend, being this 2 years ago, and we are particularly at the moment that we're on now, where we are now, would you have believed that this is where you would be?
No, I talked about this last year as well. Like after COVID hit, that was where I stopped and realized I was depressed. First of all, like when COVID hit and then we had to work from home, we barely had to be at the office anyway.
Yeah.
Like we worked for maybe 3 or 4 hours a day regardless. But once COVID hit and they were like, well, you're going to work from home from now on, it just became day after day after day after day of being in the house. And then even the previous place we were employed at, we weren't getting along with management. There was so much that I wanted to do, but it wasn't really happening.
Yeah.
And it just kind of left me in this place where I was like, maybe I should stop trying to be all creative and do something practical.
You were in that state. You were.
So, thank God for my fiance. He was like, just think of a business, whatever it is. I will help the best I can. I'll try to put in seed money and do whatever it is you want to do. So I was sitting there being like, maybe I should open a bakery, a hair salon. I thought of everything but the thing I know how to do best.
I know, bro.
Which is ridiculous. Radio, entertainment, creating content. That's what I've been doing for the last 7 years of my life. I don't know why I was going to put it aside and just be like, you're going to get a college shot queen. It's not a business.
But because it was currently making us depressed.
True.
I don't think we thought, oh, I'm going to get away from this and do my own thing.
Child.
It didn't come to my mind either, so rest assured.
So, we didn't, somehow there was something blocking our view, but once we started talking about creating a business and creating a media platform, I was like, oh, wait a minute, we could take this somewhere and we could do this with it. And I'm the type of person that if you give me a hint and if I'm excited about it, there's 1,000,001 ways that it could work out.
Yeah.
So I probably would have been running a business one way or another, probably. But I'm so happy that it's this because I actually love what I do.
Very, very true. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to be a business owner. In fact, I didn't know what I was going to be. I just knew that I didn't like the way I felt, and I felt like I was in quicksand and I didn't know how to get out.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can express how I felt. So us getting into this was literally just just a conversation at a friend's house, a group of us.
While you were sick and
Well, I
asleep.
was sick, and I was like, what's happening? But I was physically there, but mentally just not understanding what was happening. But TG was like, you know what? Like the idea of a red table talk.
Yeah.
I think is something that we'd be good at. And I was like, oh my God, I've been thinking of that. But I didn't think of it in terms of business. I was like, that would be a great platform to have since we're very transparent.
Open. Yeah.
And so not so much the other people in the group, but me and TG are, which, you know what? It ended up working out perfectly.
Whatever is meant to be will be. That's literally a tattoo that I have
Yes,
on
it
me.
is.
But we'll talk about the things that we've experienced and even share some tips about ways that we learned of how to do business in the sense that we try to go for the most unconventional sources of income.
Oh God,
we
yeah.
really try to go for things that we barely have competition.
Yes.
It's nice. I like it.
But I'm a kind of person, I don't like sitting at a desk.
True. Me neither.
Which is why what we do works well for us.
Yeah, we're not 9 to 5 people.
Not so much maybe for other people, but for us, yeah.
It is what it is, but make sure to stay tuned. Like I said, if you guys want to hit us up, our Telegram is always open. It's at Awaze Media, AWAZEMEDIA. Let's go for a track. And then there's news and stuff. Unfortunately,
I'm going to be reading the news,
yes.
guys. Don't go anywhere.
That's why I said unfortunately, but we'll be right back. Make sure to keep it locked.
Turn up your sound system to the sound of Carlos Santana.
Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire and TG, and together we're Awaze. Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Thursday, 3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM. Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up.
You know, I kind of like the playlist today.
Yeah? I like
do.
the throwback.
I like how throwbacky it is. But welcome back to the show. It's the Awaze Show with your girls, Howie and TG.
Yes, ma'am.
Why in my head they can tell that we've switched seats.
Do you think so?
In my head they can see us.
I actually feel that way too. We actually have switched seats. CG and me normally sit in the same place every show.
Yep.
But for the first time in 2 years, we switched it up. I don't know.
Yes, we only switch it up when I'm giving Howie a little bit of a quick break.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But besides that, I like to sit in the passenger seat. I'm a passenger princess.
I think now you've become comfortable with it because you are the type of person that likes to also be in control of the music.
True.
And I think now you're like,
Yes.
I trust
you. The previous show that we did, I was in charge of the music a whole bunch. But there's nothing quite like being able to sit there and not have to do anything but talk.
You know what?
You don't feel the relief?
I do. What
You should lean back a little bit.
What do you mean? Yeah.
You should lean back. We're celebrating our 2-year anniversary of doing the Awaze Show.
Yeah.
2 years is a lot. Like if you had a kid at 2 years, they'd start talking by now.
They would.
They start walking. I know nothing about children, you guys.
I mean, and plus you haven't had younger siblings either. So
No, I was the baby of the house. I had nephews and nieces, but I wasn't around long enough to see what they were like at 2.
Yeah.
It's called the terrible twos.
It is.
And I'm kind of glad I wasn't around for any of it. But do kids start walking at 2? You guys have to let me know.
It has to be
Parents.
before 2.
Really?
Oh yeah.
A year old? Do they walk at a year old?
Sometimes a little bit before that. Normally.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes normally around 1 year old.
So this business is like a toddler running around your house, basically.
Yes.
That's how long we've had it.
Yes, it is.
So we're talking about, how it all started, how it all began, our feelings walking into creating a business together. And then we did a couple of shows here and there about the ups and downs that we had to go through to so much as become a PLC.
Oh yeah.
To this day, we tell people
We've dedicated a show to this.
an entire show just to be like, hey, look, don't just walk into this willy-nilly. There's steps and processes that you need to follow. I feel like we need to update ourselves because now everything has been made online.
Yes.
And it sounds good in theory.
And the thing is, someone was asking me about it today. They're just like, everything you can do online. You don't have to go there in person. I was like, I feel like that's a good and a bad thing.
Yes, because the system hasn't been working for the last 2 weeks to renew our business license. So, Ethiopia. There's good
trying to
things.
get there.
Yeah, we're trying as to the best of our abilities. We try, but yeah, getting the business license it solidified it for me. It was like for the first time in my life, I had a major adulty responsibility. I think up until that point, I was very content with not really having to have to worry about anybody else.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I'm very content in only being responsible for myself. If I fail, it's on me. If I succeed, it's on me.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother anybody. It doesn't hurt anybody. And then it became two of us.
Yeah.
That I was no longer, and mind you, I'm in a relationship, but even then, it didn't feel like, oh, I'm responsible for this. I need to like step up.
Yeah.
So this was definitely one of the most adult things I've ever done in my life, even though, like I said, I'm married. This felt very grown up, very...
A business will do that to you.
Yeah, it felt very, we have taxes and like people that we have to pay. We have to employ people. We have to work with it. It felt so adult so quickly.
Mind you, me and TG actually don't live with our families.
Nope.
We live alone. We pay bills. We have, utility, rent, all of that.
Yeah.
So for us to feel like we still didn't feel like we were super grown up until we had our business is funny.
We're very, I don't even know what the word is, but yeah, definitely. This is the most adult I've ever felt in my life. Telling people like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do this today. I have to go pay taxes is one of the funniest things I will ever be able to say in my life.
And, it's interesting because like the one thing I have noticed within our 2 years of doing our business is the fact that me and TG, even though internally we're very similar people, our skill sets are different.
Yes.
And so it's really great because she conquers one thing, I conquer another thing, and yet we are able to do it as a team.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, this works out pretty great.
As it's weird. It's like a divine intervention. But yeah, this is the first time in my life, the last 2 years, that I fully felt like a grown-up.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about some of the things that you expect to happen in a business, and then the things that didn't exactly go that way. Like looking at it from the outside, what was the idea of having a business like? And now that we have one, how do you see it?
I think one thing about businesses, I think that maybe we think they look like, pertaining to when we see people who are successful and who are killing it. And when you're in it, you realize that time is kind of an illusion.
Jesus.
Like if you expect things to go according to a particular time frame, to make, a certain amount of money or income, or to be able to, I don't know. I feel like it's not at all like that.
Yeah.
And it makes me realize that people who have businesses and who are successful, it's not overnight. People have put in years. And there have been a lot of days in which people don't admit it, where it's ugly, business is down, things are challenging, you mess up, and nobody likes to, talk about that. Everybody glorifies the positivity in business. So I think me and TG got to see firsthand. We're like, all right, let's be realistic about things. It's allowed us to be realistic about everything.
Yes.
And I think that's the thing that I got to see for myself.
That's interesting. For me, it was the idea that established businesses, established offices had a very professional work environment. That was a myth I believed in when I walked into this. I thought, everywhere we go, everybody's gonna have way more experience than us. They've been doing this longer. Everything we're trying to do, they've done it before us. So I was like, we have to impress them by being as professional as humanly possible and try not to slip up and make a good impression. And then we walked into it, and yo, when I tell you, even the people that you think are incredibly professional, successful, and they barely respond to emails.
Yeah, no, people, like, I think whatever vibe people give off, it's not real. That's what
Like,
I'm trying
they'll
to say, it's an
talk to
illusion.
you and they'll be excited and they'll be like, do this, let's do this together. And then you never see them again. And you're like, I wonder what
It's
happened.
interesting because me and you have probably come to about a few people that have been professional from beginning to end. Almost
I
everybody.
could count on one hand.
Like, literally almost every interaction that we've had, there has been a level of professionalism that has been below par.
Oh my God. To the point where you're like, are you not embarrassed? Like, just acknowledging an email is the least you could do, especially in a corporate world. We're not super corporate, but when we deal with corporate entities, we're surprised at how, like, they barely do their tasks throughout the day. And we're like, how are we? Is it because we're new? Do you think eventually we're just going to get sick of it and just start
Not at all.
slacking off? Luckily, 2 years in, we're okay.
Either it's not responding back to emails or picking up phone calls or not coming to meetings on time or, I don't know, not reading contracts properly. There's always something.
Not reading contracts properly is one of the funniest ones, too. It's like, you signed it.
You're right.
You could get in trouble for something because you signed it, but you didn't read it. That doesn't make much sense to me. So one of the biggest surprises for me once I stepped into business was thinking everybody knew what they were doing and we didn't, to realizing, oh, none of us know what we're doing. It's all of
Everybody's
us.
winging it, right?
Everybody's just faking it one day at a time. Okay, in that case.
And it's not even just in business. I feel like it's life overall. We're just around so many people who look like they know what the hell they're doing. No, you don't. And I now no longer feel bad about myself.
Yes, I, for one, I'm going to let you know, let everybody in on a little secret. Everybody that you see that's in the business world, that's an entrepreneur, we have no idea what we're doing. We're taking it one day at a time. We make plans. Sometimes those plans don't really come through, but then you get surprised with something that's much better for you.
Yeah.
And most of the things that worked out for us, honestly, I didn't see them coming
At all.
one bit. The things we work really hard on fall through, and then random things work out really, really well. And you're like, you have to get used to chaos.
Absolutely. And I think, me and TG, one thing that I think we have become good at is pivoting. If
pivot.
something does not go our way, we don't sulk. We don't just sit there and be like, why? We kind of are like, okay, on to the next.
Yes.
What do we do next? And we have done a very good job of holding on to each other and being like, let's keep going, let's move forward.
Child, yeah, the amount of times we had to go, all right, on to the next one, I guess. But I will say, even though we're throwing a bunch of shade at everybody, we really have made connections with other entrepreneurs, other people that we didn't know before we started a business. We met because of the business, and now we look up to so much, we admire so much.
Oh, yeah.
We respect the hell out of, because you barely know us, but you're rooting for us so much that we root for everybody, but especially for you guys.
For sure.
Yes, well, like, that's the moral of that story. You do end up losing some partnerships and friendships and, you know, associates and things like that, but I promise you, you will make a whole bunch more that you didn't even see coming.
And ones that really are meant for you.
Yes.
And I think it's easy to say, oh, what's meant for me will always be for me, but it's like when you're in the midst of it and you lose people that you're like, dang, I never thought that you would no longer be a part of my life. And then you gain people who barely even know you, but are so supportive of you.
Are willing to make sacrifices so you can succeed. And you're like,
that's your tribe. That's how you know those are the people who were always meant to be a part of your life.
and it kind of more and more every day is ingraining this pay it forward type of mentality in me, where I feel like, okay, the things that people have done for us now that we've been in business, we need to start doing And we do, but we need to effectively start doing for people that are starting new businesses. Like, we need to help people out even when it's an inconvenience to us. That's the only way we can all succeed. I don't like that me mentality.
I mean, I think that's a scarcity mentality.
It is.
When you feel like, well, there's not enough room for everyone to win. You only think that way when you feel like you can't win. And so there's room for everybody at the table for sure. And me and TJ have always wanted to, one thing we've always felt serious about is just giving back not only to, you know, people who are in the business, but also just the community. We're like, if we're in it, I feel like we got to give back. And then as we move forward, we also got to look back. And so it's like, oh, that motion of like back and forth, which I really like.
Yeah, it's super important to not forget where you started, which is why we're doing this show in particular, because I feel like I've suppressed the memory of the 5 years before these 2 years.
You know,
it kind of feels like a fuzzy little memory. But
that's life, isn't it?
I couldn't point out a specific day for you
where you're just like, that was great.
If I tried, I swear to you, I had a good time. But see, look at you.
There are some moments that I remember, some ridiculous moments, some great moments, some moments I would rather bury in the depths of my mind. But I feel like all of it has propelled us to this moment. We wouldn't have been here.
Absolutely, no.
If not for that.
We practiced there so we can shine here. Let's go for a track and we'll be back. We'll be back with sort of our final thoughts, our advice. We actually have somebody in the studio that I've been arguing with to start their own business. They won't listen. So I'm going to put them on.
Like it.
And this is a person that trains entrepreneurs. So...
And TG's closest friend.
I'm just like, can y'all yell at her? Because she won't listen to me.
We'll get to that after the musical break.
Let's go for a check. We'll be back.
Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire and TG, and together we're Awaze. Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Thursday, 3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM. Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up.
What's love got to do with it?
I actually like that song.
Yeah, I love Ashanti.
So much.
Give me some Ashanti any day of the week.
Love her.
J-Lo, we will discuss someday. We'll talk about...
I've given you my piece of mind about J-Lo.
So, the internet has been abuzz for the last couple of weeks because she's supposed to do the Whitney Houston tribute.
You know that this has been a conversation a few years ago, right?
Oh, yeah? Was she trying to do it back then, too?
Yes, apparently she was supposed to do it back then. I think it was shut down, but whatever.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, I don't know if you guys know a bunch about Jennifer Lopez. If you don't, just go read up. It's such a funny roller coaster story.
Of her entire career?
Yeah. Of her as a person. The last video I saw was this waiter complaining. They ate at a place, her and Ben, and then Ben left a tip. She went back, took the tip, left $5.
No, get out.
And then,
Jenny from the block came out, didn't she?
Jenny from the... And then a bunch of people were coming out, be like, she's cheap, she's rude.
Did that really happen?
Yes, they like had receipts, and so they could try to prove it. But a bunch of people from like the customer service industry came out just being like, yes, I had an encounter with her. If I ever see her again, it's on site.
By the way, this is not a new thread. I remember a couple years ago there was a thread about just how much of a diva she is.
Oh my God.
And like hospitality,
and
people
now
came forward and like told their stories about their encounters with her. So apparently this is happening again.
She comes off so sweet on camera though. I think she does.
She
at
does.
least. Like,
she does.
Her movies, I like still.
Let me say this. Jennifer Lopez is a great performer.
Yes.
She's a great performer,
Overall.
and I like her as an actress. I love the movie Selena. Jennifer Lopez as a singer, God help us all.
That's what I mean by go read up on it. The entertainment industry is a sham. But love us some Ashanti. Ashanti led us into this whole conversation. We apologize. We've told you before we could do a whole music show if we wanted to.
You know, and different genres at that too.
And like the drama behind it.
I don't think people would be ready with us getting into music and like all of that. That'd be a fun show.
That'd be a podcast because I will need to curse.
You know what?
Aggressively.
I think we should do it. I'm going to put that up for a challenge for the both of us.
I love that. That's going on the vision board. But for today, we are celebrating our 2-year anniversary. And we're talking about our experiences the last 2 years, the things that we've seen, the things that we've lived through. And just to give you guys sort of advice, but more than that, to create a community of entrepreneurs that help each other out, that support each other, and the like.
And we have, you know, a creator of entrepreneurs. Can we call her that?
Sort of, yeah. She's made many an entrepreneur. You know, she imparts wisdom onto other people so that they may spread their wings and fly.
One thing I appreciate about her too, we're talking about her like she's not here. Yeah. She's really literally right next to us.
Because she's quiet, so she can't say nothing right now.
The one thing I appreciate about her is the fact that from day one until now, she's been very realistic in terms of the questions that we should be asking ourselves, in terms of, are we right for business? Should we be doing this together? Keeping it honest between each other. So I like the fact that she's put us in that place of just being realistic and true to who we are as entrepreneurs. So can we give her the floor to introduce herself?
Oh, she's not good. Are you going to speak? Will you do it? She's like, no. I'm talking about my best friend, somebody that I've known for, Jesus Christ, if I say how long, you'll think we're both super old. So let's just skip that. We've known each other since high school, close family friends, like our families are friends as well. And definitely one of the smartest people I know.
Yeah.
And a child, with my limited knowledge of business, if I could jump in the deep end and survive, I know damn well you can. So what we doing?
I believe that, you know, she's gonna have her business one day.
Yeah, I'm taking her with me, so she can rent her office and try this.
Yes,
for real this time. We're not messing around anymore. But that's the only thing that I could say to. Are we millennials?
Yeah.
Of course, you could get that 9 to 5. That's how we were raised. Our parents really ingrained that principle of go to school, graduate, get a job, get a stable income, get married, have kids, grow old, die.
Yeah.
That was literally the only thing that you had to look forward to unless you came from money. We don't come from money, okay? Yeah. And so growing up and realizing you're kidding if you think I'm going to do this for another 40 years or so. You are out of your mind. Some people are very, very good at, you know, a 9 to 5. Some people are very dedicated to their 9 to 5. They're happy with it. And there's nothing wrong with that. For everybody that complains about waking up and going to work in the morning, for everybody that feels like there's this existential crisis that I see with millennials now. The older we get, we start to think, I don't have anything in my savings. You know, the way inflation is happening, the way our country is at this moment, not just our country, but the world is, absolutely nothing is for certain. Everything is so expensive. I'm never going to be able to afford a house. I'm never going to be, you know what I mean?
Millennials are less inclined to have children as well.
Jesus, there's such a huge dread when it comes to millennials, especially now that we're all towards 30 or past 30.
Yeah.
We're all horrified because nobody ever prepared us for the future. And then what our parents did and what our grandparents did, that no longer works.
I think the generations before us just winged it.
Their paychecks were enough.
But for us, I think we are the most realistic generation where we're like, we can't do this.
We cannot make any of this happen. So maybe it doesn't work out. I'm not saying every single one of us is going to be super successful and be balling up to our, like, necks in money. That is not at all what I'm saying. It is hard being an entrepreneur. It is hard not having a check at the end of the month that you can rely on. Like your rent and your check come at the same time and you're good. That's not how it works when you have your own business.
Honestly speaking, I think it's not cut out for everyone, and that's okay.
It's not. It's stressful. But I will say, if you do find something that you genuinely enjoy doing, it takes away from the existential crisis a little bit. Like, of course I want a good future for myself, but right now, thinking this is my job, I'm good. I'm chilling. My job is fantastic. I have no qualms. I don't feel the need to call in sick. I don't feel the need to complain when I have to go to, you know what I mean? We barely have to be at work to be at work anyway, but being happy with different aspects of your life. If you're happy in a relationship, that's great. But if you have to get up and go to a job you hate, that's a 9-to-5, it ruins your day.
I think some people may be like me who are business owners and who are equally working 9-to-5s, and I think
just doing both, you guys.
And I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't talk about, like the transition of you're doing a 9-to-5 and then wondering, when am I going to stop doing this so that I can be able to run my business fully? And that time of frame isn't always certain.
No.
Sometimes you're like, oh, I remember me and TG were like, just 1 year.
1 year.
One year became 2 years.
The job.
She's like, soon. Because now we really don't know.
True. Because stability is something that not everybody can give up. I'm not, by any means, I'm not telling nobody to quit their jobs. Do not quit your day job.
Please.
But please remember that even though your day job is 9-to-5, I promise you can find a little bit of time that your employer does not know about to do something a little bit on the side, because at least you have something to look forward to. And you're always supposed to strive to have other sources of income.
Yeah.
It's so important. Money is not everything, but y'all, it's a lot.
To have other streams of income, I think me and TJ really realized is so important. Simply because for the longest time, we had one job, and I think there was a time where me and TJ just were not motivated.
No.
And we're like, just barely.
I guess I can afford food. Was the mindset.
I'm telling you guys, I don't know how we were in that state.
We had
where
that
we're
conversation a week ago.
Where we're like,
You were like, how did we go from month to month with the paycheck? Like, how did we make it?
And we didn't even really have we didn't have ambition like that.
No.
We're being very honest. Going from that to being very ambitious and being like, we're going to conquer this and we're going to do the best that we can, just goes to show you that really anyone can change and anyone can do what we're doing. In the sense that if you find something that you're like, okay, there isn't this that exists. It's not a copycat culture. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, don't do what somebody else did. That's not the point.
Problem solving in the sense that you're like, this doesn't exist. I think maybe I can find a solution to that. That's essentially how we started all of this.
Yeah.
I'm really, like I said, if I haven't said it in the show already, I'm very proud of how far we've come, not just as entrepreneurs, but also as people. We've come far. Believe me, if you guys knew us a couple years ago, you would be proud of us too.
Absolutely. So that's my advice. I don't know how to give advice to those older than me, but to anybody that's my age or younger. Older than me, I mean adults. If you have responsibilities, if you have kids, it's a risky play to make to just be like, oh, I want to follow my dreams.
It's a luxury, to be honest.
It's a luxury, all right? I'm giving you all these disclaimers because I don't want to be held responsible if anything crashes and burns. But no, yeah, millennials, this is your time. You're young, you have a lot of energy. If you don't make your dreams come true, somebody else will hire you
to make their
dream come true. I swear to you. So while you still have that day job, please daydream about what business you could own. Please daydream about what you're good at, what you could do, what you could bring to the market that nobody else can. What is my edge? What can I offer? How much do I have to invest in it? How much do I have to say? You know what I mean? There's a lot of calculations that go into it. But educate yourself on what's the market like? What can I do that could, make me a little bit of side money? It does not have to be a lot.
And you're absolutely right. Not only just making those mental calculations, I also think it's important to make emotional calculations. And what I mean by that is not everybody's going to be on your side and support you. The people who you think are going to support you won't.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
Even the people who say they'll support you might just even walk away. So I think that emotionally making yourself ready to say, I might not have everybody's support, but at least I have my own back. Yeah. Me and TG are lucky enough to have each other's back and have the few people around us who really are grounded and see our vision. Yep. But that's not going to be the case for a lot of people.
It's not. So a lot of mental prep goes into possibly starting a business. Like I said, please, try to find side hustles that work for you. That is a great way to step into business, to make the networks, to make the connections that make it necessary for you to go on and create your business. God bless everybody that's been rocking with us. I love to everybody that supported us, people that went out of their way.
Oh my God.
To make sure that we got as far as we did. So much love out here in the community of entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs.
Yes,
so much of a supportive atmosphere that exists, that I'm super thankful for so many people that we've met in the last 2 years.
And I hope we can be, like you said, the people who pay it forward.
Yeah.
For those who decide to come after us, but like the people who have really helped us, especially the people we didn't expect. That's always a treat.
Yeah.
I'm super grateful to our close family and friends who have supported us, but there have been people who along the way who we didn't expect, who were like, I love you guys and I want to support you guys and I want to be a part of your journey. We're so grateful for those people as well.
People have offered us other businesses that we can run. Mm-hmm. People have made us the faces of their brands. Mind you, we know nothing. And like we're walking into this willy-nilly.
Yeah.
But people really do take a chance on you and they like look at you and they'll be like, I feel like you're going to be something great. I want to be a part of it. And that gives you that confidence boost for you to be like, I'm going to be great. That's where I get all my energy from, honestly, at this
100%.
point. Yeah.
100%, bro.
So suck it up to it's a brand new year. We are at the end of December. 2023 is just about to kick in. When you make your resolutions, make this year's resolution to be, I'm gonna have my own thing. It doesn't even have to make you that much money. It just needs to bring you joy, a sense of fulfillment, and if at the end of it you don't have to work for anybody, I love that for you.
I have been doing this thing because I hate resolutions, TGA. I don't stick to them.
Yeah.
But if you could manifest 2023 by one word that you hope the next year would be, what do you want that one word to be?
I already have my word.
Just be what 2023 is. What's the word?
Abundance.
Oh yeah?
That's the word I'm walking into in 2023 is abundance of love. It's abundance of laughter. It's abundance of opportunities. That's what I'm walking into this year. So much energy. I created, for the first time in my life, I have a vision board.
Oh, yeah?
I put on a fully, I was like, I need to be able to touch it. I'm going to make one. So I'm definitely going into this year with a lot of energy. Things towards the end of the year really things are going really, 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 really on such a fantastic track right now. You'll see. Okay, we have to keep things under wraps until we can announce them, but the way that we're ending this year is very different from how we started this year, where we were a little worried that things had slowed down.
Yeah,
we were like, what's up? We were doing so good last year. Why is everything cooled off?
True.
You didn't think
so long ago. I almost forgot.
So the year ended, or is ending, on
a very high note.
Really high, high note, a very exciting note. So I'm hoping to carry that energy on to the next year, even in terms of our country, where we are, in terms of COVID, in terms of the conflict in the north. Everything just seems to be getting to a better place.
Yeah.
So these are the times in history where there will be an economical boom.
Yeah.
There will be more opportunities. So this is such a great time for you to go out there.
Yes.
And try to grab a piece of your dream. It's the perfect time.
I like it.
Perfect timing.
I like it. I think it's great.
Yeah, that being said, what are you going into 2023 with?
What's my word?
Uh-huh.
My word, and I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks.
Jesus, is she?
It's not a complicated word.
Okay.
My word is deserving.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I'm like,
100%.
Child, it's about time. I deserve the best. We deserve the best in terms of every aspect of our life. It's about time that things happen
Love that.
for us for
Deserving.
once. So, deserving is the word for me.
You know? We're ready.
TG's like, oh God,
I
what are you
love
gonna
that
say?
word. No, I really genuinely love that word.
Deserving?
Yeah, self-discipline has to be in the back somewhere because
You picked that word. Y'all, me and TG, remember how our words last year were, mine were forgiving, yours was...
love.
You had such a great word. And yours this year is self-discipline.
Yeah.
And mine is perseverance. I'm like,
I don't want to persevere.
I want to persevere. I deserve. That's it. I'm going to create my own word.
I'll take self-discipline. I'll take this year to learn a little bit more self-discipline, especially when it comes to my personal life. But we'll talk about this on our 3rd anniversary and see what we've been doing, what we've been up to. And I really hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, rest of your weekend. We do have to head out, but we'll be back same time, same place.
In the new year in 2023, the next time we see y'all.
That's what's up. And it's going to be like, like Wazima. It's going to be a whole thing.
Yeah, we're excited.
Me too. And that note, stay hydrated.
Make good decisions.
Awaze out. Bye.
Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire and TG, and together we're Awaze. Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Thursday, 3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM. Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up. Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire and TG, and together we're Awaze. Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Thursday, 3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM. Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up.